Hello everyone, welcome to Esoteric Ebb. We're continuing our adventure right from where we stopped it in the last episode. We're here in this place that supposedly might be some kind of cleric's abode. I don't know. This guy seems kind of like a cleric. We are apparently a cleric, and this guy definitely doesn't sound or look like a cleric. Actually, we have no idea how it sounds like, how he sounds like, or she sounds like. I have no idea about the gender. Anyway, there is some things that we are gonna check out in this place, like for example this little thing right there. Let's behold, it is a pocket watch. It's ours, possibly. In the cutscene when the game started, we've seen that there was a pocket watch that got separated from us. Hopefully, maybe it actually is ours. Let's try to take it and we'll see what's gonna happen. This is a +1 intelligence item. Advantage in esoteric events. This is an amazing item then. I mean, I have no idea what esoteric events are, but probably they will come in handy. And +1 intelligence is gonna make us go higher in intelligence, I think, right? 14 is gonna be +4 right now, so we're on the level of charisma. Just one more charisma is gonna bring us up to +5, so that's cool. Anyways, this is a great find. It's gonna come in handy definitely. Although we will gonna be soon worrying a little bit about the place and actually, you know, how much of that space has been already taken by different things. And this wisdom tooth is great. No minuses, which is the most important thing. Anyway, let's start talking. Or first, maybe let's check who that thing. Jesus Christ, I'm so really mean today. Who that person is today. Visken, local mortician. Okay, then we have no idea about his strengths and stuff. There are some checks here. We probably need to succeed on the intelligence checks to see and learn more about this person. So there's like a lot of DC 5, DC 10. So, you know, the more we want to know about the guy, the more difficult it's gonna get. Let's try the first check. It's 10. Should get us some information. We cannot do this check again. Interestingly enough, maybe if we use one of those shards that we have found before, it would be, you know, available to us once again, but not at this particular time. Anyway, this guy is a human from Reeds, so that's an interesting thing to know. Level 17, entrepreneur, also a mortician. I guess this goes into the category of entrepreneurship. I'm not quite sure, but maybe. We still have no idea about the stats, but a pale man handles corpses in a basement, a typical self-employed city contractor. You remember hearing about this man. He used to be a dentist and a surgeon, interestingly enough. So, kind of a little bit of a career change for this person. Anyway, Visken, I guess we're gonna get to know each other a little bit better. I'm not gonna trifle with him quite yet, but I'm gonna engage him. Local mortician. Kind of a little bit of a dirt on his clothes, but that's fine. In this kind of work, it's inevitable that this is gonna happen. Anyway, the pale man sits hunched over a stack of forms. Busy at work, his pencil slowly filling out line after line. On the top paper, you see an icon of a serpentine drake. A great perch. These are official documents of the city. Great perch, the drake-like sea creature found along River Torna. Urf was known to tame these creatures, and eventually the Great Purge became the symbol of his great city. Okay, that is the Great Purge of Norvik. Up and about, are we? Wonderful. I'm Visken, local entrepreneur and proprietor of this leech house. Appears you don't really belong here. But if there's anything I can do, Cleric, just let me know. He smiles at you. Okay, he's friendly, that's fine. And he didn't immediately try to ask us for any kind of money or compensation for whatever he did to us. I mean, I'm not sure what he did to us. If he's a mortician or whatever he was, I don't think he has Revivify on himself, or maybe, I don't know. His smile causes you to stir a deep feeling of unease, as if it is almost there, but just not quite. You can look around the room. We kinda did it, but let's do it anyway. Dimly lit and damp, a musky stench lingering in the air. You see books and flasks and stone altars around the circular chamber. There are several corpses present. These stone tables were once modular altars used in some advanced ritual. Okie dokie. So those things that moved, right? The stone tables were used before in some ritual, or not anymore. Maybe he just kind of like used them just for the overall decor, or maybe he still has some idea for that ritual. Interesting enough. to maybe warrant a question later. Did you save my life? He puts down his pen. Your life is your own. You owe me nothing. However, I'm afraid to say you've been through quite the turmoil, Cleric. I died, didn't I? Those fishermen who brought you here certainly thought so. Not that I blame them. You weren't exactly in prime condition. They caught you in their net, believe it or not. Okay, so we were fished out in a way. Such a nice haul for the fishermen, right? I wonder if they took something from our corpse before, moving us to this place. That could be the case. Such a strange tale. So not dead, just a bit wet. Okay, so we didn't got revivified. We just, we didn't die. We were just kind of in a bit of a predicament, as one would say. Wait, how did you end up in the river? That's a great question, actually. How did I end up in the river? Not a river, the river. I'm afraid I don't have much to tell. Perhaps you fell off one of these bridges to Tolstad. There are 7 bridges over River Torna connecting Tolstad to the rest of the city. Sounds like the start of a great drinking story. I woke up in a lich house tale. I mean, kind of, like, definitely. I would be inclined to listen if someone told me that they kind of woke up in the morgue. That's not a everyday kind of story to tell. You don't have a lot of those, so that's good. I would never fall. It must have been an assassination attempt. I must have slept. Happens all the time. Perhaps there's an esoteric explanation to all of this. I think we're gonna kind of try to maybe play up our strength. So let's say that we would never fall. How awful. He's not really either surprised or like caring about, what we were saying here, but I guess not his business. His uncaring tone speaks against his words. Who were these fishermen? River guilders, I believe. They did not look like poachers, so my guess would be that. And where can I find them? Is another question. He ponders your question. I did not ask for names, sorry to say, but perhaps Waterlane? That's just a guess, though. Waterlane is the largest trade port in Norwich, located in a massive tunnel piercing the center of Tolstad. It is a so-called marvel of dwarven engineering and is the reason so many people commute to Tolstad over the many bridges, considered as one of the great crafted wonders of the world. Good guess, lots of boaters hang out there. Okay, if it's a trade port, I would assume that. Either that or the local tavern. I hope you find them. So I am, in fact, alive. The pale man stops for a moment. He looks you up and down. Yes, I believe you are. I have some other questions, I think. Do you now? Okay, let's feel DC 31. No. We are, this is like, we need to basically roll not 20. And even, I guess even later in the game, it's gonna be very difficult to figure out this guy. So for now, we're gonna leave it. I don't wanna like lock this particular roll. Maybe if we have some more items and stats, we could check something in regards to him, or maybe in some other way by, I don't know, for example, trifling through his things, we could learn more about him. Not that for the moment. There's a zombie in your basement. Oh, how quaint. No, and that abomination right below. I understand. We're closely connected with the city below. The undead seemingly wander as they please. City below, short for the city below the city, a phrase used to describe the incredible amount of tunnels and ranges below Norvik. Lots of monsters and stuff down there. Also riches if you delve deep enough. Well, we did delve deep enough to warrant our own death, so I don't think we're gonna go back there any moment soon. Maybe on a 3rd or even 4th level, if we can even get to that level. The city below the city, though. The vast ruins found underneath Norvik most define it as the parts of the city not yet civilized, although there is a legal definition set in place for each individual district. However, I will have to take this up with Lady Sageleaf. I pay good crowns for HWBT protection. Oh, we can finally learn what this abbreviation means. The Halfway Breach Tribe, commonly called the Halfways, one of the 3 goblin tribes in Norvik and arguably the most influential despite their small size, led by Lady Miska Sageleaf with their headquarters in the Goblin Garden on Tolstad. 3 goblin tribes in Norvik, arguably the most influential. Okay, so at least we know that the goblins do hold some kind of significance in this place, maybe even more than we would initially think. The Halfways, short for HWBT, the Halfway Breach Tribe. Okay. Oh, so it's all a misunderstanding then. Good. Wait, no, I don't actually believe you. Let's check a little bit what we're actually saying. We're closely connected with the city below. Okay, so we're still talking about this zombie below. Wait, no, I don't actually believe you. It's a risky choice. Remember that the ones that are underlined might lead to some unforeseen consequences. So that's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna choose it because I'm crazy just like that. What do you mean, Cleric? Oh, prepare to attack level 17, dude? No way. The zombie is clearly working for you. That is illegal. I greatly apologize for putting you in this situation. It is my neglect that led to this undead creature entering the tower. I will make sure to tighten up security in the future. This isn't us. We'll do a clean sweep of the basement this evening. Get ready. The kobold gives a screech yell. Yes, master. I will also make sure to report this to both the HWBT and militia. He won't let you get a word in. Amazing. I'm trying to say you need to pay for you're clearly doing something shady here, so I kinda wanna, get out of this conversation at this point. It feels like we're gonna get killed in a moment. Of course, I'll be sure to ask for a thorough inspection by PCG. Pest Control Guild. Pest Control Guild is one of the oldest guilds in Norvik. They are supposed to keep monsters at bay and clean up any unwanted creatures across the city. These days, they are so bogged down in requests from citizens and the city that they usually have backlogs for months. The Pellman is twisting this entire situation. Smart. If there is anything unbecoming about my business here, it shall be uncovered and unveiled. Thank you very much for your service, Cleric. It is because of great men like you that the city still stands. I'm sure a good word to your patriarch will assure a promotion of some kind as well, especially with this great work you're doing on the tea shop. This is going circles around you. It's time to step in. Argue. There is a chance that we could resist his incredible oratory power, but I am afraid where it's gonna lead. Like, he's clearly more powerful than us, and if he's already, not really caring about the legality of the situation, what's stopping him from just killing us as well? I'm kind of wanna roll this check, because it's like charisma, and this is like what this character was created for, but I'm a little bit too scared this particular moment. Maybe you're right, I'm probably just confused. It's very understandable, Cleric. No need to apologize. I require assistance. Let's go for that. Maybe he's gonna be a little bit more happy with assisting us now that he knows that we kind of decided to step back from this particularly unsavory situation. Of course, Cleric. Anything for the city. So what do you know about spellcasting? Quite a bit. If he knows more than you, then it could be useful to listen. My prayer book is ruined. Yes, I noticed. You should speak with Shen, down on Waterlane View, a bookbinder. It will cost you, but he could fix it right up. As a cleric, you obviously only need your faith to cast spells, but I'm sure a spellbook won't hurt in the long run. Can you teach me magic? A slight smirk creeps onto his face. I sadly don't have time for a proper lecture at the moment. After the election, I could make time if you're interested. Great knowledge awaits. Until then, you are free to browse my collection, he says, glancing at the many books along the western wall. And of course, here. Oh, he's giving us Charm Person spell? A first level enchantment spell. If the target fails a wisdom check, you'll be their favorite person for a little while. Of course, after that, they will surely hate you, but who cares about that? A copy of Charm Person. It will surely be useful to you. A truly diabolical spell. The towers teach it only to higher tier spellcasters usually, despite its first level. There's a great shortcut to charming people, although you gotta be careful with the fallout, if you care about such things. Okay, the thing about the charm spell is, charm person spell, is that usually, after the spell ends, the creature or person that was under the influence of the spell knows that the spell has been used, that their perception of the person has been altered, and in general, this do cause them to be a little bit, unfriendly towards us. Was the person who used that spell. And of course, there's also a possibility of resisting the spell in the first place. So it is a kind of a risky deal, and you need to be... It would be great to know, for example, that the person has a low wisdom, since that was the, if I remember correctly, wisdom check. So if the person has a low wisdom and is unfriendly to us, we could maybe use the charm person spell to help ourselves in a particularly, difficult situation. But in general, I would prefer to just rely on my charisma. But sure, could be helpful in some kind of situation. Can you explain the very basics of spellcasting? Oh, I mean, of course. Embarrassing. As a wizard, you memorize your spells before casting them. As an arcane cleric, you must memorize your spells during prayer at the shrine. There's one downstairs by the apples. I wonder if this is like a spell that I can memorize now, or is it just one-time scroll kind of action? Where can I find more shrines? There's the Temple of Urf, of course. It's just up the stairs past the pillar. You've heard the Tolstad Temple will act as a polling place for the district on election day. There's also one on Waterlane View, I believe, past the trade post. You'll find more hidden around every corner, I can promise you that. And how do I get more spells? 2 ways. You could spend time learning them, drafting pages out of the palace archives, or the great library in the towers, since you obviously would have some access to that. However, I don't believe you have time for either of those options. So I'd suggest the other route. What's that? Spell scrolls. Oh yeah, I saw one downstairs. Yes, a piece out of my collection. Oh. You are very much allowed to indulge, Cleric. I'm glad to assist the city in any way. This guy's trying to help you. He must have a vested interest in your job then somehow. Now, Tolstad is filled with all kinds of strange cases, so you'll probably encounter more by just looking around. If you get your hands on a scroll, then just memorize it. Cantrips or spells, doesn't matter. I'm sure you're talented enough to memorize them on the spot. I am! He nods to you and goes back to his writing. We're kind of acting like a fool, let's be honest here, sometimes at least, and I appreciate that he didn't have to say anything snarky about it to us. It would be kind of sad. That's all I have to ask about spellcasting. Very well. Just some extra XP. We're actually kind of getting near the halfway towards the level, so that's cool. If you want to practice, feel free to cast anything non-lethal on my servant Ust. Treating a servant like that is despicable. Sounds like a good practice. Intelligence and strength are not gonna really go hand in hand here. I don't want to do that. In fact, it sounds quite awful. Fair enough. Just remember that spells are terribly useful when applied properly. I don't know where to go. Your shaky voice makes you sound positively furtive, Levlet. I probably butchered this, but furtivlet, dwarvish word, meaning desperation, anguish, hysteria brought on from mental pain. Complete and utter despair of flesh and bone. I don't mean to tell you what to do, Cleric, but there's a certain rumor that a local goblin chieftain is waiting for you. Goblin chieftain? Lady Miska Sageleaf is her name. She's down in the Goblin Garden. Of course you've heard of her. Lady Sageleaf is quite famous. She leads one of the 3 goblin tribes exonerated by Urf after the conquest, which is the correct way of referring to the historical event in which humans founded Norvik. Most humans, however, refer to it as reconquest. And Reconquest is a historical event in Norvik. It began with Urf's landing in 466 AE and is said to have been finished by 468 AE, when Urf finished eradicating the trolls who roamed in the ruins of Tolling Cattle. It is a point of contention if it should be called a Reconquest or just Conquest, as no humans had ever lived in the location before. Yeah, I would assume Reconquest would mean regaining it back, right? Trolls, a monster native to Ascan, they exist in broad categories, from small and mostly harmless green trolls to mutated volatile cursed trolls. They vary in intelligence, strength, and organizational abilities, but they are a core enemy of Urfolk. It was Urf who destroyed the Rising Kingdom during the late Arcane era. Yeah, you don't want to fuck with that one. Okay, then. Dragon of Tolstad. They call her the Dragon of Tolstad. Okay. It was Urf who destroyed the Rising Kingdom. You don't want to fuck with that one, but with that one... interestingly enough, they call the Dragon of Tolstad. Sure, I probably pressed on something and I don't remember right now what they pressed on Urfolk? No. The people of Urf, the ancestors of those who reconquered the Ascani coast. True mythological heroes. Okay, then. Let's keep that in mind, that there is a dragon there, and we need to be careful of that. The goblins live in a garden. Well, not quite. You'll see when you get there. And when you do, make sure to pay your respects. Lady Sageleaf is a powerful ally. I would even go so far as to call her de facto lawkeeper here on this island fortress. Wait, this is part of the job? Talking with some petty goblin queen? Oh, why petty? Just because she's a goblin? Come on, goblins can be kind of, you know, cool and important. You may find her, and especially this one seems to be, right? Like well, it's supposedly a leader of a chieftain, right? So, important position. You may find her at the southern tip of the Tolstad, the Pellman says, and keep scribbling on his papers in front of you. He does not value your time. And you called me Cleric? Makes air quotes. I did, yes. Because you are a cleric. Don't make an ass of yourself. Too late for that. I am the cleric. Good for you. An example of that sarcasm thing mentioned before. Though I'd love to ask, what type of cleric are you? Type? Yes, if you're a clergyman, you might run a congregation for a local religion or deity. Holy man on a holy mission. Then there are clerics of the bureaucratic variety, city officials speaking for the religious state. Rules are meant to be broken. You're not some stiff councilman. You, however, must be an arcane cleric. I'm a basic clergyman. I'm just I'm the chosen one. I'm the chosen one. The Pellman stops and ponders your response. Chosen for what? Chosen to save the world. An eyebrow raised, almost like he takes your statement seriously. What a good person you are, cleric. Good luck with that. Kinda can't stop thinking that this dude is just so sarcastic towards us. And so, like, I really don't want to deal with this dude anymore. I really hope he's gonna just go away after this series of questions is over. All the help I needed, thanks. Great. Anything else you wanted to ask? Yeah, but not right now, though. Before you do, make sure to collect all your belongings. What belongings? Quite a lot. Your uniform, your cloak, and also a voting card? A peculiar voting card. Every party had been marked on it. I'm assuming it's yours. Yeah, sorry, I'm indecisive. The Pellman ignores your comment. I ask us to lay the surviving pages of your spellbook to dry. Over there, he says, and points across the chamber. He then looks over the corner of his desk where you took the pocket watch. Good. The esoteric pocket watch is very useful, cleric. Make sure to keep it close. Beyond that, you should be good. Do they have any weapons on me? No, I'm afraid. They must be at the bottom of River Torna. Good. You do not need arms in this city. You need heart. Oh, shut up. A good blade can make anyone speak. Got it. The Pellman turns his face towards you and smiles. Unnatural. If only every government employee were as devoted as you, cleric. Gives you a stern expression. Good luck on your quest. When exploring the city, you may move faster by running. To do so, double-click or hold shift. Okay, we actually kinda got it before. Okay, so we have discussed things at length with this person. We did get some of the items that we needed to get from there, and now the question is, where are the remains of a spell book, prayer book? Human no cost trouble. Okay, we will not. I kinda wanna... Wait. Can I check what I can trifle here? I'm not gonna steal from him, I just wanna check. The mind expansion. Ooh, 15. This is definitely too much for measly abilities. Behold the chest. An unlocked chest full of strange rocks. I wonder if I can trifle through it. Shard of Yore. Would it be a problem if I take it? Let's first talk with this... not goblin, that was a kobold, right? Ust, Chief of Security. DC 5. Okay, let's try. Maybe we're gonna go better this time. 12. Not the best, but still level 9 rogue. Kobold. One is quite hostile. Stay on your feet. His expressionless eyes seem to keep watch at all times. He's obviously determining where to strike for you to die as quickly as possible. How humane! Yeah, it's very nice of him. He doesn't want us to suffer too much. What if I press it again? Need to rest before I do that. Okay. But I can definitely... Let's see if I can trifle with him. He has a light crossbow. That's amazing! It gives dexterity and wisdom. If only I could. But I definitely would not, because this is most likely gonna end up with us dying, or like starting a fight, and then, you know, I don't know if the mage is gonna join the fight as well, meaning that we will be outnumbered and probably outleveled quite heavily. We are first level, they are 9 and 12, was it? No, it was 18 or something. Chief of Security, let's see what he has to say. Wiggling his little clawed feet, the kobold follows your every move with cold, unflinching yellow eyes. Master say you behave. You're adorable! The kobold glares at you. A battle of will, do not give in. Glare back. Your eyes meet each other, still, ever vigilant. Keep glaring. The kobold does not move. Glare some more! Yep, you're staring at each other. You're doing it! Glare, DC 15, that was a good roll. Eyes meet eyes. Glare. You're looking at kobold's yellow eyes, staring in an angry or fierce way. Looking hard. I wonder if this is going anywhere, but you know, at this point we're way too freaking hard into it to stop. Leaning close to the kobold stern's face. You probably should stop this. The kobold meets your gaze and keeps meeting you. I don't think I'm getting any more out of this. I'm gonna keep staring. You keep looking at the... Oh, okay, it's gonna like move in a circle right now, right? I'm just gonna select it a few more times just to see if there is any kind of Easter egg that comes up from selecting the same option like several times. There were some games in which if you selected the same option 20 times, there would be like another thing that pops up on the screen, but I don't think that's gonna be in this case. However, let me just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, I don't think I'm getting anything more out of this. Fair. The kobold looks at you with a cold expression, determined. You don't tell me what to do now. I have some questions for you. Short question. Go. Who are you? I'm Est. I'm security chief in Leech House. A strong little one, nearly immovable. You're a kobold. That's not a question. Not question. I'm so happy that this kobold actually called us out on that. Dexterity. Try to save the question. You stared at him, plus 2 DC. No! He's gonna make things more difficult that we kept on staring. God damn it. Okay, I'm gonna try to save the question. Oh, I'm definitely not gonna save this question. Oh my god, I actually bite my tongue for 3 HP. God damn it, that's rough. I need to like use some kind of item to heal a little bit. The taste of blood fills your mouth. The pain changes your brain chemistry for a moment, leaving your mind in shambles. Oh no! Hurry! Save the situation! Say something! Anything! Ouch! The kobold stares at you. Not slowly. You can't speak in this condition. Don't even try. Blood starts to drip down your chin. Try to tell him that you've injured... I mean, Charisma is saying that we can't speak, so I'm gonna like listen to it. Spit out the blood through the gap in your helmet. What are you... The kobold mutters as he watches you splatter fresh blood and saliva all over the floor. Point at it and say, that's what you get. Yeah, exactly. That's what you get. Cleric, what is... The kobold mutters. He's baffled. Your actions have truly made a mark upon his dark soul. You've somehow managed to make the stoic kobold speechless. Congratulations. Yeah, I'm happy as hell that this happened. Smile. Your inexplicable, perceivable, bloody smile is sure to cause havoc. The kobold stares at you. You wipe the remaining blood off. There's a limited supply of that, just so you know. Yeah, thank you, Constitution, for reminding us that we're mortals and we're definitely gonna die. How'd you get this gig? Not gig. What is it then? I'm the devoted servant for Master. I know that I keep on changing the, way this kobold talks, but that's just gonna keep on happening. So you're a slave? Not slave. And your master is? Master Visken. And he owns you? Not own, serve. So you're being paid? Yes, paid well. He gives you an expression that could be described as a frown, that is, if it looked in any way different from his regular expression. You wouldn't actually shoot me, would you? No promise. It's hard to take you seriously when you're so cute. That's what crossbow is for. I think he's threatening you, but it's hard to pick up over how adorable he is. Can I borrow your crossbow? Human is kidding? Not funny. You would make greater use of it than this puny creature. Just take it. The kobold snorts. Go away. Don't let this slide. Just take the crossbow. No, I'm not gonna take the crossbow. Come on, I'm not a fucking thief. Please? No. Try to convince the kobold. The kobold stares at you. How do we do this? Appeal to his better nature? I don't fucking know. Stealing would be evil, so just demand it loudly. That's not... No, please don't. We can find a reasonable argument. You have baffled him with your madness. Okay, so staring is not gonna bite us in the ass in this place, but antics are definitely gonna help, so that's great. We're gonna find DC 11. It's doable. It's doable. It's... Yes! Yes! We're gonna get the crossbow. I think, maybe, I don't know. Oh, you know exactly what to say. There's only one thing that could possibly convince this kobold that you should get the crossbow. And that is, of course... Visken asked me to get your crossbow. Master did? The kobold glances over to his master. Yeah, he said I needed it more than you. What? Why? The kobold seems to believe you somehow. Why don't you ask Visken? Gestured towards the pale man. He said you were so strong that you don't need it anymore. I think this is much more, like, not only probable, but also, like, this kind of is gonna end up with Master... with Visken. I'm not gonna call him Master, come on. With Visken telling him the truth, so he said you were so strong. The kobold squints. He leans back and smirks, then nods. Here we go. Yes, we got the item. Let's go. Light crossbow is ours. Now we can shoot all the zombies in the head. The kobold reluctantly and slowly hands over his crossbow. Master always right. The fact that he handed it over without even asking the paleman first. Love it. With the crossbow safely in your grasp, the kobold scoffs. Weak human. Of course you need a crossbow. love this. I love kobolds in general, but I love this one as well. Thanks, Leaf. Okay, so we got a crossbow. Let's go. And this is gonna go to the weapon slot, right? Amazing. Wait. Let me see just one thing. I just need to verify. Dexterity and wisdom. Okay, so we're getting even more wisdom. It's still +1. So let's keep that in mind. But we are strongly getting into the territory of +2. So that's good. Fantastic. Right now, I'm so happy about all of this. I'm not happy about this, though. Ruined prayer book, but we're gonna get over it. And I guess we can take those things then. No one is like yelling at us for just taking it, so that's cool. Okay, we have a weapon that's gonna help us a lot, I think. Was that we checked that, right? I kind of feel like we did. Your fine one. Yeah, we did check that. Okay, we checked that. We checked all of those things. I guess we can just go outside. We need to start freaking investigating that tea shop, right? Voices upstairs. Interesting. The smell of salt. Can be a nice smell sometimes, you know, especially if you're like nearing ocean. Let's see what's happening in central Norvik, I guess. What's that? It says Visken Lich House, but then the end dentistry is scratched out. Okay, so this guy was kind of doing a lot of things at the same time. I don't know, it kind of makes me feel a little bit queasy. But fine. Something inside this old vase. Let's see what it is. It's incense. Another incense. Oh, actually, I guess we can consume that. 3 hit points regained. We're gonna feel a little bit better. And there is something right here. I need to check that. We're gonna like move. Why are we going there? Can we just go? Can we just go there? No, we kind of need to go around the place. Interesting. Like, oh, okay, we're on the wall. So I was like, why? Oh, there's so many question marks everywhere. I'm gonna like go and check all of those before we talk with the dwarves here. Oh no! I don't sleep. Okay, so was that Constitution? I think it was Constitution, right? Actually, can we check? Constitution has no. That was Dexterity, obviously. Yeah, like don't sleep, don't fall down, right? The walkway does not follow the safety council standards of 22. That's intelligence. I'm trying to like learn the colors for particular attributes, and the most important is of course purple, charisma, and the blue is intelligence. Constitution is kind of brownish, sure. Wisdom is green, dexterity is yellow, strength is red. Red is gonna be like easy to remember, I think. This takes gut, and the brown was constitution as well. Anyway, we took the money that were left there for some reason, or just someone like dropped them there. Let's see. Men at work beneath Asgal's green banner. That's wisdom. And there is intelligence here. There's an esoteric effect in place here, stopping rainwater. Okay. So it's just not just a simple roof, it's also magically reinforced. That's great. The orc observes you with great interest. Okay, there is a lot of things that we can do here. Let's start from above. Let's start with this barrel, then we're gonna talk with the dwarves and see what's happening, then we're gonna go down there. We also need to find some direction towards the tea house. Former ale barrel. Right now, it has crowns, so that's good. How much money do we have right now? 34. Possibly not enough to repair the book, but we don't really know what kind of price, what kind of fee will the bookbinder wish to receive for his services. Let's see what we have here. That's Simi and the boys. Okay. The checks are the same every single time, I suppose. But it's charisma, so that will gonna help us to get much more information, including their stats. So that's great. They are level 2 factory worker. I'm saying they because it's supposedly the boys together. So that's you know why. A devoted Asgal gives everything he has to support the cause. A second son kind of person, lives in the shadows of greater men. Follows the Asgal way not due to choice, but due to the indoctrination and tradition. He wants to live up to someone. His father, a patriarch? Okay. And what about the second guy? Does he has... Yeah, he does have a different sheet, but we're gonna use Constitution, and that's not gonna be that helpful, I think. Yeah, 9 is gonna... We're just gonna get bare information about him. So he's dwarf, exile. He stands by his ideals with gut and little else. That's kind of sad. Let's start talking with the person that we know a little bit more about. So Simi. The older dwarf puffs out his chest as you approach. Stout, short, hairy, loves to dig and build. You know the drill. Drill. They build most of Norvik and have a long history with the Earthfolk. Fancy helmet, city man. Actually, I should maybe speak a little bit more like dwarf. Probably not gonna be good, but... He speaks in a short and quiet manner, as if he's scared of his words actually being heard. The dwarf behind him laughs. Stand up for yourself. Don't engage, just leave. Intelligence is like, that's stupid, we're not gonna do it. Thanks, my mom got it for me. We're gonna do just that. Oh. Don't say something like that, it makes you look pathetic. It's a lovely helm, she has a good taste. You made him feel bad for making fun of it. This is not an evil person. Let's go, actually, you know? That's what you get for randomly trying to pick a fight. You're gonna have, you know, like, remorse now. Huh. Interesting. Even Charisma is, like, baffled by this situation. Brutal honesty might actually win conversations sometimes. Good to know. Brut. Vurgeni slang for brother. Specifically the dialect... What? How did we went from, like, brutal to brute? Anyway, the dialect grown out of the coastal slang, a mix between non-tongue and underclass migrant workers in old Maga colonies. Vurgeni, one of 8 bands along the coast, upland of cracks, marshland, and gravity-defying mountainous terrain, home of giants, shamanistic humans, and tribal gnome folk. We're gonna stare at the dwarf. Wait, what was the question actually? Lovely helm. She has a good taste. We're gonna stare at the dwarf. He looks around. The answer to any kind of conversation for a cleric is to stare at people. It usually results in bad things. We're gonna stare harder. The dwarf glances at his boss. You here for talking, then? Stare at him while slowly leaning your head to the side. You should, He stutters and points towards the stout dwarf on the stage. Talk to him. No, then leave. Okay, then. So I guess that's the boss? Oh, actually... oh, we can't trifle with that one, but we can trifle with this one. Just checking. PPG documents. -1 intelligence, -1 wisdom. Why would I want to get that? Unless there's gonna be a situation in the future that lowering your stats are gonna be helpful. Interesting. We don't know much about this guy, but, you know, we still need to talk with him. We need to talk with everyone in this game. That's the case. Around the amphitheater scene, you see a number of dwarfs hard at work. They're constructing a banner of some kind, carrying a bright green flag. The banner of Asgal, the Fool. One of the dwarfs stands to face you with a furrowed brow. He appears to be in a staring contest with the orc on the other side of the theater, and orcs are big brutes of devilish origin. Oh, devilish origin! They're rare in Norvik, most of them can be found in Feltire. Okay. Oi, Mr. Cityman, he calls out as you approach. We've made it clear already, we're not moving, not one bit. That's no way to greet the Cleric of Norvik. Oh, is that so? Guessing I'm supposed to grovel. That'd be nice, thanks. You're in a little further into being a Cleric. Gain 10 XP for choosing this class 2 times. What? That's interesting, but sure. Dwarf glares at you. No, I don't see why I would. You hear the other dwarves laughing behind him. Nothing illegal going on here. Nothing at all. He's only saying that because he's had to defend himself quite a lot lately. Great, I was worried there for a second. He looks you up and down. Yeah, okay. Great. He didn't expect that to slide. Very great. Now who are you? Name's Alphos of Ban Emevers. Whoever that are. Foreman in the Asgalis movement of Norvik. Ban Emvers, one of the big dwarf clans. They funnel tons of penning into Norvik. Penning is the currency of Viska kingdoms, as well as several dwarven fiefdoms on the Undercoast. It is a commonly accepted coinage in Norvik. Undercoast, a nickname for the undersea coast. Yeah, as always, many information just kind of streaming through my head and my mind, but still we are going to continue. He's done more good than all of you Urfgard combined. A true speaker for Asgal. Damn, that's a lot of good. See me exaggerates. He gives the older dwarf the stink eye. I'm also not in any way proud of my heritage. Nobility is just a poisonous hierarchy. Typical talking points. He grins. Just wanted to make that clear. Don't mention the whole noble thing, you'll just piss him off unless you want that. Yeah, so you boys setting up a play or something? The play? He spits on the ground. We're holding a rally for the cause. This evening workers across Tolstad will gather to hear the word of Asgal. He turns towards the orc, and no one's going to stop it. You hear laughing coming from across the theater. Papers, Alphos. He grumbles and turns back to you. So, what you want? You seem a bit stressed. No, you don't say. His words drip with the acid from a green deer. So, it is forenoon. I get the lads together, and when we arrive, that accursed woman is standing here. The dwarf shudders. She starts complaining. He reaches for something in his pocket and takes out some documents. We show her the papers. And the papers are no good, she says. Bah! Circle Square conflict. Oh, okay. Real convenient, I say. No, there is nothing wrong with these papers. We are in our rights to speak out against tyrants and burghers. Burgare, the craftsmen, merchants, and notably higher-standing citizens in comparison to those of rural roots. They are. Bureaucracy. They sure are playing a game they can't win. Check the papers. Surely the dwarves have screwed up somewhere. So, what's wrong about the documents? Of course... Oh, so she's wrong about the documents. Okay, never mind. Of course she is. She's a liar, that one. A filthy liar. Alphonse nods and grunts. Terrible liar. Can't even get the words out. He knows she's right about the documents, but doesn't want to admit it. Isn't it a bit macabre to hold a rally on top of a morgue? Morgue? The dwarf grumbles to himself and glances over to Lich House stairs. I thought it was a dentist! Fair assessment. No matter. The Esgal movement is not afraid of death. You hear laughter from the orc behind you. Big words, Alphos. The dwarf grits his teeth. Damn orc. So what's this rally about, exactly? He grunts. Guilds. For decades there's been collective bargaining between Norwegian workers and the city guilds. Say what you want about Earth, but he kept a tight leash on the upper class of this city. Damn right he did! Yeah. But look, it ain't the same since his death. The Free Striders have burrowed into every darn power structure from paperboys to bookbinders. In less than a dozen years, salaries have stagnated and prices have gone up. They said Free Striderism would make the city rich. I say it makes its people poor. We need change. So you're here to convince a bunch of Tolstad workers to vote for the Asgalist party. More or less, yeah. But it's also about the spirit of community. Together, we can fight against the purchasers of our labor. Alone, we are as brittle as a twig in the older dwarf pipes up. A twig in the wind? No, that's not good enough. Like a twig in the fireplace. He points at you. That's good, I like that. Anyway, the rally will be a success. We just need to get rid of that orc. So you can call out to all workers of this magnificent city. He exclaims as if there was a crowd around him. Vote! Vote with your guts, with your manhood at stake. You too, Mr. Cityman. Can I see the papers? He gives his companions a glance. Why? Intelligence, this is quite a low check, so I think it's gonna go well, right? Right? Can it go? Yeah, okay. Whew. I'm just always so worried about those low checks, because technically there's always a chance that you're gonna roll poorly, right? Just tell him you're an expert and that you're on their side. I'm an expert. Are you now? Yes, also I'm on your side. He repeats louder. Are you now? Now hit him with, I'm your best shot at getting out of this. The dwarf grumbles. His eyes go from you to the orc behind you. Fine. The dwarf sighs and grabs something in his pocket. PPG documents. Oh, those documents that gives us minuses, right? He hands over the scroll. I trust you with these documents, citymen. Tell us we're in the wrong. I dare you. Because we're not. The older dwarf joins in. Take a step back and check it out. Let's see what is actually going on here. You can examine certain items. We already done that, actually, so we know about that. We're gonna do it, but we're gonna do it, my friends, in the next episode. Hope you had fun today, and if so, consider subscribing to the channel. That would mean a lot to me. And for now, stay healthy, stay, hydrated, and stay, as you are, basically, and take care. Cheers.